Today we have Mr. Anush Odilov from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, giving us a live listing presentation. So I'm excited to do that. You guys should be excited to do that. For sure, everything's recorded, so you guys can go back to the Real Sales Talk YouTube channel to study what people are doing. We've been doing a lot more presentations live and here. So that would be a great format for you guys to uh, level up your skills because this is a skill-based market right now for most markets. So let's jump into the listing presentation. And look, listing presentation is going to be a real role play. So no timeouts, no hang-ons, no pretends. Like this should be all real. And can you share your screen with me
Yeah, well,
briefly?
before I start, I just want to say my listing presentation is not the same every time with every person. Depending on the person, I customize it for them. And like this, my last listing, 849, I didn't have a listing appointment. I was just talking with them for a few weeks. And then one day they called me to sign the agreement.
Yeah,
That's how it happened. So,
that's nice. I
yeah,
mean, so do you have a listing presentation?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. So the goal would be to give it as much as you can and that it's going to change. I mean, there's been times where I verbally gave my listing presentation in the front yard and didn't even
Yeah.
go into the house.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I've changed it based off of me knowing what's in my head, what I want to talk about,
Right.
based off of the format, because you guys should not be winging listing appointments. You should have some sort of format on like, all right, here's how I start, here's how I carry it, here's how I finish it. And the variable only for me is that initially, Anush, is like, all right, tell me what's important to you before we get started, because I want them to feel heard by going through the prequal, which I do at the beginning. But right before I do that, I go, hey, tell me what's important to you, because I want to make sure that besides the price, because it's always about the price, right? Besides the price, what else is important to you to make sure that we cover today? Because just in case I need to go in a different direction or I need to really focus in on something aside from the things that I want to talk about, which is let's talk about the market and the price and your motivation a little bit more on prequal and then handling objections. Okay. All right. So anything particular you want in regards to my personality type or give us some information on who this seller is so I can play
Yeah.
to that in the role play.
Well, I'm gonna do this like it was my first ever listing, which I took. It was a couple who they're moving to an apartment. They have to leave by in 45 days. And yeah, so they can, if you find a buyer in the next week, they're fine with that.
And why are they moving?
Because they're downsizing and the house is too big for them.
Okay. Personality type or anything else specific? How much
Yeah,
do I owe
they're
on the property?
very amiable, calm couple. Yeah.
Okay. How much do they owe?
How much do they owe?
Hmm.
What do you mean?
Yeah, how much they owe on the property?
Oh, it's paid off.
Okay. And then is it how much do they want versus how much the property is worth? So I can play with that.
Well, the property is worth around 320 to 345.
Hmm.
They want above at least 300.
In their pocket or
No,
sell price?
listing, sale price.
Sell price. Okay, so they're fairly realistic
Yes, they
initially.
are. Yes.
Okay, so I'll be unrealistic just for the purpose of like dealing with price objection, if that's
Sure.
okay.
That's okay with me.
Okay, what else? Anything else before we get started?
Well, yeah, so typically I go to the house, I do a walkthrough by myself. I
Hmm.
tell them to wait in the kitchen. Once I'm done with the walkthrough, I'll come back to the kitchen table.
Perfect. So let's start at the kitchen.
Okay. Can
Okay.
I share my screen?
Hmm. I love it. Awesome.
Okay.
I love it.
I can share my PDF if anybody wants. It's fine. After.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Uh,
So what'd you think of the house, Anush?
yes, so I usually, when I come see the house, I tell the sellers I want to take a look by myself because I don't want any opinions. Like I want to walk through the house like I'm a potential buyer.
Hmm.
So I experience it for the first time without anybody affecting my judgment. So thank you
Hmm.
for letting me do that. Before we begin, I always, obviously I'm not the right agent for everyone. So during our conversation, if for any reason, you think that I'm not a good fit for you, could you please do me a favor and let me know that, you know, this is not a good fit for us and we might have to talk with other agents. I promise you're not gonna hurt my feelings. Is that okay?
Sure. Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, sounds good. And also, if I during our conversation feel like I can't help you, I can't reach your goals, is that okay if I tell you upfront instead of waiting until the end that I won't be able to meet your expectations? Is that okay if I be totally honest with you?
Yeah, please. That's completely okay.
All right, sounds good. So here is what we're gonna talk about. First, we're gonna talk about your property, and then we're gonna talk about the process of listing the house and what it takes to get the listing up and running. And then we're gonna go into how we're gonna market the house so we find qualified buyers within the first week to get them in the house at the same time for our open house, which we're gonna cover at the end. And then we're gonna talk about, other strategies of how we can get the most amount of money possible after everything is said and done. Do you have any questions so far?
No, please. I look forward to hearing what you have to say.
All right, so I wanted to kind of give you an idea of what is happening in our current market because most people they watch TV or newspapers talk about the real estate market, and most people don't realize that it is very local. It's super local. Even zip codes markets are very different. So here in Northeast Philly right now, the median sale price is 335K, which is almost 5% over more than the last year.
Hmm.
And the prices have been rising compared to last month. So as you can see here, it says 4.9%, 12 months growth. And then the Zillow value says, 323K.
For my property?
Right.
Oh,
But most sellers, I'm sure you looked at the Zillow, right, before our appointment today.
yeah, I saw Zillow.
Right. Most people do that. And the issue I have with that, it's not an issue, but Zillow, they haven't been inside your house, right? Or did they? Did they come to your house and check out the
No,
house and
no,
give?
they didn't come.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Well, Zillow usually doesn't know what's going on inside your house. If you updated your kitchen last year, for example, you told me you updated the kitchen 3 years ago or put a new roof, right? They don't know that.
Right.
And homes are selling, in this area, in your zip code, homes are selling typically for 2.73% over the asking price, which means not every home is selling over the asking price, but most of them are.
Hmm.
And still, what do you think of the market right now? Do you think people are selling their homes within a week for asking price? Because I saw a house down the street for sale. Do you know anything about that?
No, I saw it for sale, but I don't know what happened.
Yeah, well, that's been on the market for over a month now, and obviously we don't know if they received any offers, but what we do know is that they haven't accepted any offers yet. And we're gonna talk about the pricing later, but the longer the house sits on the market, what do you think buyers are gonna think about your house?
Uh,
Uh,
probably not good. I
yeah,
mean,
they think something is wrong with the house, even though the
yeah.
house is perfectly fine, right?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so this is still, a seller's market, which doesn't mean that we can do whatever we want and get, top dollar for your house. And the time, so the average time on the market this year is 25 days, which is a little
Hmm.
bit over than the same time last year. And
Hmm.
we have inventory is up. We have like 71 new listings, active listings, which is 120% over more than in May. And compared to last year, We have like 80 homes. It was 80 homes for sale during December of last year.
Mm,
So
okay.
in summary, there's a steady growth. We have a big competition and we have a strong sellers market. So that's why we have to talk about competition and how we're gonna come on the market in a way that buyers think your home is the obvious choice for them. Do you have any questions on that front?
No, yeah, it seems like it's cooled off a little bit though.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's cooled off a little bit, but homes are, if we come up with a really good marketing strategy, pricing, we will hopefully come on top and get the house sold as quickly as we can.
Okay.
All right, so these are, I'm gonna be leaving you this CMA after our conversation, so you can take a closer look on them. So these are
Okay.
the addresses. So let's take a look at the first one on Barrington Circle.
Hmm.
It's a three bath house, 2,000 square feet, which is similar to yours, but the square footage is a little bit bigger than yours, and they listed it for 403, and they sold it for 415 in 20 days.
Mm, okay.
What do you think about that?
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next one, I mean, those are going to be different addresses, but the next one, uh, I think I have. Okay, I'm going to skip over this. So, what do you think, needs to happen for you to sell the house in this current market based on what I've told you and what you heard? What do you think needs to happen to sell your house as quickly as possible and get the net amount of money that you want?
As far as price,
Right.
yeah. Well, I'd like to, I was thinking it's starting at 375 to like give myself a little bit of room for negotiation.
Okay.
Mm,
Sure. Well, let's say you are a buyer right now, right? And you come across this house for sale and you see that it just came on the market yesterday and it's listed at 375. If let's say I'm your agent, what would you tell me to do so you get the house? What
if
kind of offer do you want me to write so you get the house? The house has been on the market for only 1 day.
only 1 day,
Yeah.
I don't probably write a good offer.
Okay.
Right.
At least asking price or more, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Well, let's say if this house has been on the market for 2 months or 3 months, and I'm your agent, you really like this house, and we see the house, you like it. What kind of offer do you think you're gonna tell me to write so you're gonna get the house?
Yeah. Something a lot lower.
Why do you say that?
Well, I mean, it's been on the market so long. I mean, obviously people aren't, you know, there's probably an opportunity to, pull it down because it hasn't been selling. So,
Right. And yeah, because once we are on the market, for a longer time than we need to be, let's say a month or over, we kind of lose most of our leverage in terms of pricing, and people are gonna think there is something wrong with the house. That's why, it's been sitting on the market. That's why, buyers are not putting the offer. Is that fair to you?
yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I just, I don't want to start a lot lower uh, because, um, I don't want them to keep pulling me further down. You know what I mean?
Well, that only happens if we price the house above the market price, which means based on the strategy that you are telling me, let's say if we list the house at 375, right? Is that we know that the house is paid off, right? You don't have any mortgage on it. So
Hmm.
what would be the minimum amount of money that you are okay walking away with?
I mean, I'm willing to, get to 325. I just, I want to make sure that I don't leave any money on the table.
Sure, and I get that, and I would feel the same way. But if we come, like, the market is telling us that, the prices here, like, are selling, in like we said, 20 days in average right now. If we list the house at 375 and after a month we don't have any offers and we need to do a price adjustment, right, to lower the price by 10,000 or $20,000. Then our goal is to get as many people as we can during the first week, which I'm going to talk about later for the open house. And if we keep lowering the price, the amount of offers that we get are going to be lower than the already lowered price. Does it make sense?
Hmm.
But on the other hand, if you come across with a really aggressive price, let's say you're fine with 325, right? Like you said. And
Yeah.
let's say we list the house at 320, which listing the house, the list price is not going to be the sale price. The list price is only meant to attract buyers as fast as we can. Let's say our competition, right now down the street. We don't want our competition to we don't want to help our competition to sell their houses, right? We want it to be the other way around.
Yeah.
So
I
we
mean,
want them
yeah,
to
I'm not
help,
trying to help them sell, right?
right? So and it all comes down, to pricing. Let's say if we list the price at 310, which is not going to be the sale price, right? If you list it at 310, the house, let's say, comes on the market active on November 1st, and we are not going to show it for 7 days until we do an open house. Once we don't show the house for the first week and do a really big mega open house, and I usually get in this area, I sold the listing a couple of weeks ago. We got 24 people during those 2 hours. Um, and then once a lot of buyers come see the house at the same time, they think that this house is gonna get a lot of offers and they're gonna act quickly and put an offer above the asking price.
Mm.
Does it make sense to you?
Yeah, that makes sense. So what are you saying as far as price, where I should be?
So based on the market data, if you list the price below what you want, right, that's not gonna be the sell price again. Our whole goal is to come off aggressive and strong with a competitive price. So when buyers, they see the houses in this neighborhood, so they compare the price first. And if they think it's within their budget, then and only then they're gonna come see the house in person. If you list the house at 310, like I said, uh, then those other overpriced listings around this neighborhood are gonna help us to pull in more people for our open house within the first week.
So where do you think I should be listed then?
Yeah, 310,
310.
right.
Okay. Well, look, if I'm going to come that far down on price, then I'd be looking for you to like maybe help me out with your commission.
Sure, yeah, we're gonna talk about the commission later if that's okay. Because I
Okay.
want to talk about the process and what it takes to get the house sold from starting to the end point, if that's okay.
Okay.
Right? So today we did the initial meeting, the walkthrough, the house. As far as I see the house, there is nothing wrong with the house because most people do inspections and I've attended some inspections before and I know what the inspector usually looks at. I did see some issue on the backyard with the fencing, which could come up in an inspection, but that's not going to be an issue. Uh, After that, after if you think we're a good fit and you want to work with me, we sign the listing agreement and we will prepare your house for sale. That means, we're gonna stage it. We're gonna, I'm gonna have my photographer come take the pictures, and we're gonna start our marketing campaign. And then once I do a draft listing of your home on MLS, I will send you the pictures, the MLS description and everything for you to approve. And once you sign off on that, then we're gonna go live. Is that clear so far?
Yeah, it's clear.
Right. So After that, once we do a big open house, like I said, we're not gonna show the house for the first 7 days, and then everybody who wanted to see the house, they're gonna come to our first open house, which will hopefully gonna be our first and only open house. That's been usually the case for me. And then once we receive the offers, usually based on the strategy that I told you, not showing the house for the first week and doing it the mega open house, we usually receive multiple offers within the next few days after the open house. So
Usually.
yeah,
Mm.
and then we will be, once we have multiple offers, we are able to negotiate the price, and we will, obviously you're gonna go with the highest price possible, right?
Yeah, the best deal, whatever the best deal is.
Yeah. Yeah, and after, we go on the contract, after you accept the offer, we go on the contract. The buyers are gonna order and pay for any inspections that they selected. And then and then we do have an appraisal. And if appraisal comes up, um, over the sale price, then we're gonna have to negotiate again. Either, the buyer's gonna pay out of pocket for that one, or, you know, it's going to be on the seller side. We're
Mm.
going to have to agree on that. Is that clear?
Yeah, that's clear.
Yeah, so once inspections, appraisals, everything has been done and good, we're going to schedule the settlement date, and then we're going to have a final walkthrough. Usually happens the day before settlement or the morning of settlement date, and then we're going to close.
Okay.
Do you have any questions so far based on the
No,
process?
no, that makes sense.
Okay. All right, yeah, if you also want to, take a look at the market, I do have a personal app which is free to use. You can download it and search for any houses in the neighborhood so you have an idea of what's going on, in your current market.
Okay.
Yep. So now we're gonna go into more detail of my marketing plan. Do you believe that we need to have a good pictures of the house to market the house, or do you
Yeah,
think
of
we need
course.
like
Yeah.
few? Yeah, I agree because 95% of buyers usually see the house online, and then they decide if it's something, they're interested in, and then they're gonna, come and see the house in person. So having a good pictures, at least, 25, 30 good quality pictures are really important, because once we upload it to MLS, it's gonna be pulled, it's gonna feed into all of those real estate websites like Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com.
Mm. Okay.
Yep. So like you see here, new home buyers find their home. You know, majority of this chart is, internet, right? They see it online, and then the other piece would be, if they are working, most of them are working with real estate agent. The real estate agent is going to provide them with the information about the house, and then the yard sign, open house signs, those do also help, but they're a really small piece of the pie, as you can see here.
Hmm.
So
Got
the
it.
whole point is that marketing in terms of pictures and marketing plays a really big role in finding and attracting right qualified buyers for the house.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have any questions on this?
No.
Okay. So yeah, in terms of the marketing, again, we do have a media plan. We send out the flyers, just listed, coming soon, under contract, all the way to the closing table. We send out the flyers to the neighbors, because what do you think of, neighbors coming and seeing your house and during the open house? Because everybody can come and see the house. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to find the right buyer. So I don't know if the buyer's, somebody might know a buyer.
Yeah, I mean, some people usually they don't want their neighbors to come see the house because they're just nosy, They just want to see how your house compares to
Hmm.
them and how it looks inside. But, most of the people who your neighbors, Usually, sometimes they know friend or family member who's trying to move into your neighborhood. So that's actually a good way of finding a buyer. If we, have your neighbors come see the house during the open house.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah? You're okay with that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Well, this is everything in terms of marketing. As I said, I'm gonna leave this paperwork with you. You can take a close look uh, on how we're gonna market and promote the house. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so this is an open house strategy which we already talked about. So do
Okay.
you prefer, private showings compared to open house, or which one you think is gonna be better for your situation?
I mean, probably private showings. I mean, I'm okay with you doing open house, but I want people to schedule.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Well, with private showings, I know you're moving to apartment next month at the end of November, but with private showings, it's gonna be, how many like advance notice do you need for me to approve the showings? Let's say.
Couple hours.
Okay, so let's say if you get like four showings during the day, right?
Hmm.
And then you're gonna have to clean up everywhere to make it presentable to the buyers, everything four times a day. If you're making dinner and we have a showing at 6 p.m., you're gonna have to clean all of those stuff up and then make the house ready again. So but with the open house we could get like 20, 30 people at the same time, so you don't have to hassle every time we have a showing. So open house is a really good strategy for the first week to generate more interest and get a lot of people through the house.
Okay.
Yeah, does it make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Great. So these are all again uh, about the promotional stuff, everything we do and me and my team do in order to find the perfect buyer. Uh, we do have some information about my brokerage, which is Keller Williams. If you want, you can take a look on how we are helping sellers sell their home for the most amount of money. Well, Paulie, based on our conversation tonight, do you think I can help you?
Uh, yeah, yeah. I think you demonstrated that you have a plan to get it done for sure.
Okay, I'm hearing some hesitation. Is there anything that
I'm
I didn't
still,
cover?
I'm thinking like maybe, what about starting at 325?
Okay. And if you go below that, are you okay with that though?
Yeah,
If you get an offer,
yeah, yeah. I mean, I saw the comps. I understand.
yeah.
I understand. Yeah, I understand.
Okay, that makes sense. But from what I understand, you said 325 is the minimum as you can go, right? Or let's say if you list the house at 325 and we get an offer 2 weeks later at 310, are you okay with that?
Um, I mean, I'm willing to negotiate.
Right, but as I said, the longer we are on the market, the less negotiating power you have as a seller or I am as a seller's agent. Like I said, the longer we sit on the market and the data which I provided shows
Hmm.
that, you know, houses typically, those houses who sell within, 2, 3 days usually sell over asking price.
Yeah,
So 310 works for you?
yeah. I mean, are you willing to lower your compensation to help cover some of that?
What do you mean by that?
Like how much do you charge?
Well, I charge, 6%, which is I'm not gonna get all of that for myself. We do have to provide buyer's agent who brings us a qualified buyer, um, so who is able to purchase and close on the house. So 3% is gonna go towards the buyer's agent, and the 3% that I get, 1% is gonna be spent for marketing and getting the listing up and running, and 1% will be uh, going towards my split with the company and taxes, and I'm gonna be left with 1% for myself. Is that clear?
Yeah, but there's these other companies, that have said that they do it for, 2% as a listing
Sure.
agent.
Yeah, there are companies who would do it for even 1%. And what do you think they're gonna have to cut back on if they do it for 2%?
I don't know. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, they're gonna cut back on marketing, uh, photography, and all of it that goes because those expenses are all included inside the commission. You're not gonna pay for any of them out of pocket.
Hmm. Okay.
And if I said, I would agree for 2%, would you just sign the listing agreement? I mean, for 4%, right? 2% for me, 2% for buyer's agent. Would you just sign the listing agreement right away with me?
Sure.
And what do you think the agent who does that, right in front of your face, to lower their own commission, the money that's gonna be going towards them? How do you think they're gonna negotiate behind your back to get you the most amount of money?
I don't know. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah. If they're willing to let go of, 1% of their commission right in front of you, how do you think they will be able to negotiate with the buyers to get you the most amount of money possible? Because if you sell the house for the most amount that you can get, we also make the most amount of money, right? The higher the amount, the higher our commission.
Right.
So if
Yeah.
they lower the price right away, without any questions, objections, or nothing, how do you think they're gonna, represent you when there's a lot of buyers
Yeah.
out there who gonna lowball your house? It's gonna send
Yeah.
lowball offers.
Yeah. That's not good.
Yeah, 6% is it then?
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I brought the paperwork with me, and yeah, we can sign. You can put me to work tonight if everything makes sense and you're okay with everything.
Okay. All right. I'll take it. There we go. There we go. Good job. Good job, Anush, for stepping up to the plate and doing a listing presentation. I'm always looking for volunteers for buyer and listing presentation. So hit me up and we can always schedule that. It's a great opportunity to be able to do that. How'd that feel, Anush?
Good. It's still, no matter, I do still feel nervous, especially when going. I've been to like 5 listing appointments so far.
And how
It
many
gets
listings have you taken?
four,
He's been to five. How many months in the business?
four.
Listing
So
every month? Yeah, you're doing pretty good,
yeah,
buddy. You're doing pretty
yeah,
good.
it gets easier. You get more confident the more you go, but it's still, I still feel like, nervous. But I try not to show it to them because,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's good. Okay. Let's jump in here. Let me talk about what I think went well. Okay. Right at the beginning, I like kind of the reverse psychology where you're like, hey, well, look, I mean, can we agree right now that you'll just tell me if you don't like what I'm saying and you don't like what's happening here? You just go ahead and tell me, and I don't want to waste your time. And I'll tell you too. I'll tell you if you do, I feel like I'm not going to be able to help you. Can I be honest with you? I like that reverse psychology up in the front. That was that was really good. Um, Okay, I may have misunderstood on the pricing. I think you wanted me to say 320 to 345, and then you were going to go to 310.
No, that
Uh,
was that was okay. Well, with the actual sellers, they wanted to list it at 305. They were like older couple. They didn't know really what the market was, and we listed
mhm.
at 320, and we went under contract at 340. So they were very happy about that.
Okay, all right. Yeah, next time we'll just do well when you role play, just make sure you go after specific objections and like that. That would have been a good opportunity to go. Okay, let's deal with price because that's typically doesn't happen where they're here and the market's here.
Right.
That
Yeah.
was for your first listing. That was probably the
Yeah.
worst thing that could happen to you because that never happens, right? Like
Right.
people are not usually like, I like to listen at 305, and you look at the comps and you're like 350,
Yeah.
right? So maybe being intentional about working on specific objection handlers. So we played with it a little. Okay, I'm gonna actually. This is why I love doing this kind of stuff. I'm gonna steal this from you. Zillow hasn't been in your house, have they?
Yeah.
That's a nice little chuckle, right? Because they're gonna laugh for sure. Because it's just no, 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 no. Zillow hasn't been in my house. Okay, well, that Zillow's a great place to window shop. That's what I say. I go, hey, because I don't ever want to be negative. I'm always going to be positive, progressive. So I'm going to go, hey, Zillow's a great place to window shop. But I mean, they haven't been in your house, have they?
No.
No. Okay, well, that's what I mean. Like that's where a professional like myself comes in, is able to zero in on price and be able to make sure that you're exactly where you need to be versus some computer algorithm. That was really, really good. Zillow hasn't been in your house. That was my big takeaway. Okay. Love the market review on the big scale. I think I haven't been I've been not doing that as intentionally on my listing presentations. Just a reminder to get back to that. I think you did it nice and fairly quickly and cleanly. I really liked too on the pricing where it looked super clean. Is that how you do it as far as showing those?
Well, I didn't have the CMA. Usually, I have the CMA and I pull up on my MacBook.
Mm.
On my CMA, it only shows the front picture of the house. And then once I'm there, I pull out my laptop and I show what the inside of house looks like for each comp.
Yeah. So, okay. So number one, on a real role play, you got to do it the real way, the real way.
Mm.
Pricing,
Yeah.
because here's the thing, Anush, pricing is actually the most important part for you to get skill set wise, because
Yeah.
all that other stuff you can talk about, but the pricing is going to be so circumstantial based off of days on market, how it compares, the pictures, like all of these different
Right.
little variables on you being able to go through the comps one by one, and you taking maybe 3 to 6 of them. And more than 6 is way too much. I like to stay 3 to 5 for the number of comps, and then I'm going to look at the cumulative CMA, like the averages or the medians,
Yeah.
and I'm going to highlight, because here's the thing, you don't want to get caught up in looking at pictures. You
Right.
bad move. Bad move. You guys, I'm telling you, like the only times you want to be prepared, I'm always prepared with pictures, but I'm prepared to go, hey, look at this one. This one's better than yours. Not like
But
that,
that
right?
that
Not
the,
like
the
that.
whole reason I show the pictures, though they understand how it looks inside and price wise, how it affects the price and the sold price, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Be very, very careful with that, because when you start getting into, I've interviewed many successful agents, and most of them don't do that. And the reason why is because then you start getting into this debate, and it may not be happening right in front of you verbally, but it's happening in their head, and they go, well, I'm better than that one. Now, if I got to pull it out and I got to go, okay, well, let's take a look at this, and I use that as evidence in court, well, then I'll go there. But like I want to keep it on the surface, unless I have to go back there. Um, because number one, it could take a really long time to go through that, possibly. Number two, you start getting into debate, and debate is opinion oriented. Even if you think it's fact, it's still their opinion. Like they're still going, David, I guarantee it, right? Like you've been at an appointment and you're like, how do you think this one compares? And like their property is definitely worse. And they go, yeah, it's the same or better. And you're looking at them like, really? Really? Like they don't, it's subjective, what I'm trying to say, right? Like, so just be very careful with that. Because I try to keep it all on the numbers. I don't go pictures unless I have to. All I'm saying is that just be careful with it, because I still do use pictures, but those are the dangers there. Okay. Marketing. So you talked about cutting compensation, and talking about how that could affect marketing and photography. I love that. You even gave me an idea on uh, how to ask better questions with cutting back marketing and photography. Anush, you ever look at a listing and you see like some of the pictures are really dark, or maybe there's some like
And vertical.
misoriented
They just took it on their phone. Yeah.
vertical pictures? Right. You ever seen that,
Blurry.
like vertical
Oh yeah,
pictures
all
or
the time.
dark picture? Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like if you take away from marketing, ultimately you're not taking away from me, you're taking away from you. on
Yeah.
the quality of the market. Now, that's just something that you can see. You have no idea what people are doing on the back end for social media at all, or like how they're spending money to market the property. That's the stuff you can't see. So you ever hear the saying where there's smoke, there's fire, Anush?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If people are saying they're cutting back, they have to cut back something. So, I mean, do you want less people to see your home or you want more people to see your home?
Yeah.
Okay. No, that was just I'm just winging the role play there for some of the people in the group here to like get a better idea on like how do I ask better questions versus just saying something in regards to what value may look like so that people can grow into the conversations that I'm creating. I need them to grow into that conversation. Okay, coaching points real quick because I want to get some feedback. Okay. Can I coach you, Anush?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
That's why I'm
All right.
here.
Careful on the front end. I think it's what country are you from originally?
Tajikistan,
Okay. So that's like Eastern Europe, right?
Central Asia.
Yeah. Okay. Central Asia. Okay, careful because I can hear some of that Central Asian in there. Where like you don't really care about my feelings. You're like, yeah, look,
Yeah.
I don't want your opinion.
Yeah.
You can't look, us these Americans are soft, okay? You got to be careful with like ego, and I've done that before where I was a little too hard with people on the front. And I know it was just I honestly I know it was just like you acclimating to saying something a little bit differently. I know you didn't mean it like that, but
Yeah.
it can come across like that.
I felt that too, but because I wasn't sure about what type of personality you're gonna be, that's why
Mm,
I didn't know. Because my last listing appointment, it was very intense, you know?
mm.
I had to be like, she was so loud, I had to be louder than her to get the listing, you know?
Yeah, yeah, that's what that's good that you recognize that. But
Yeah.
yeah, definitely have some awareness on
Got it.
egos because even people with who are high D's or high C's, still could be subject to their feelings getting hurt. Okay, I think for sure I would have liked to seen a prequel, like you talking about the prequel. If you're doing the prequel, if you're not doing the prequel, you should be doing the prequel. If you're doing a listing presentation, reviewing some of the questions on the prequel. I don't know if it happened here. No, it was another listing presentation.
Because
I'm going to post live
yeah, in
next
this
week.
case, they I already met with them at the office and I know everything about the prequel, you know.
Yeah.
I knew
So,
everything.
so for the purpose of practice,
Yeah.
do it. Do it
Okay.
because even if you already met them and now you're going to sit down for the listing presentation, just no, not the whole thing, right? Okay, Anush, you said, and then you said, and then is this right? And then you talked
Mm,
about, and then you're going to like
got
go
it.
through the prequel so that they see I'm listening. What you say is important to me, and I have a professional process here. You're not talking to somebody who's just talking to you because some people think that's actually what they should project. It's not what you should project. You should be a professional and look like a professional. How do you look like a professional? I just told you. Like that's one way to do it. Okay. All right. Comps. Get your comps straight. Right. Like make sure that your role play. I'm telling you, Anush, pricing's your biggest opportunity to present really strong. Make
Yeah.
sure because we skipped over that whole thing because you didn't have
Yeah.
something to go back to. The
Right.
pictures, the data, like that's where you're going to get your biggest impact on influencing somebody to be where they need to be on pricing. That's your biggest opportunity. So make sure you go back and continue to work on role playing your pricing. Um, I did like though how you were telling stories. Like you did that a couple times. Like you were like telling a story about when they saw properties and when they saw properties for sale and pricing and that's a really great element of influence is you like telling like explaining what you're trying to explain in the format of a story. That's a really big strength. Continue to use that. Um, Good explanation on pricing. Yeah, I liked how you explained pricing. You kind of did it like in story format. Now you on pricing, you said I go usually on multiple offers. Is that true in your market? Multiple offers
Yeah.
usually happen? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
good.
in my listing so far, I have
On my
so.
listing so far. Yeah, I like that, right? Now maybe that's something for you to know, right? Is that more common, less common? Like getting an idea so that you know look, I believe that that even in spite of the market, I can make that happen, which is true. Regardless, that is true.
Yeah.
Regardless of market conditions, that can happen. Okay, your pie chart was a little vague. Like it needed, that's like so small, man. Like you
Okay.
couldn't really tell. Like it was just so general. Like it looked a
Right.
little weird and it was hard to decipher. So just some feedback on that for you.
Okay.
Um, and then look, there were a couple times where you did it on purpose, where you said something and then you stopped talking, and you did it on purpose, and
Yeah.
it was actually very effective. Okay, but be careful that uh, when you want to drive and you want to get people to continue to move in a direction that we're going based on the conversation, is that there is a question there to drive them in the direction you want to go. Okay. So a couple times you did it and I was like, that was good. I like how you were quiet and you sat there and you were waiting for me to answer. That was that was a nice little strategy. And there were other times where you just let it sit and you were just letting me absorb
Yeah.
it, but
That's awkward. Yeah.
you needed to like ask a question and like move me and keep moving me,
Okay.
right? Repeat, approve, move. Move who? Move them. Allow me to move. Like that's the move. Repeat, approve, keep that conversation moving. Um, Okay. Yeah. Overall, pretty good. Pretty good. I'd say
What do you think? Any
I,
any feedback on the commission thing?
um
I think you
no
skipped over that.
yeah, the
How would you
compensation.
have handled that? Lowered your
Yeah,
commission?
I like the 1% thing. I think that's a good idea. I think you talked about, how that affected marketing and photography. I'd say just role play more to find a way to shorten it down and make it nice and compact,
Right.
or maybe more and just more compact and more concise. Because you were talking a little bit and you were just trying to move the ideas into
Yeah.
motion through your mouth, and so you were blah 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 when you could have blah blah blah
Right.
done, right?
Yeah, actually, the what I understand, like you have to practice a lot in order to make it simple. Like
Yeah.
that's
Well, when people say to me like, "Oh, you're so natural at it," no, man, I
yeah,
role played
yeah,
my face off. I
yeah,
role played my face off so that it's internal, so that the moment of impact, all those good ideas and
mm,
strategies they're already internalized and centralized. And then I practice because there's only so many things people can say. Look, you just need to learn the answers. Because look, I mean, on one hand, kinda, like there's only so many things people can say at a listing presentation or a buyer presentation. Learn the answers.
yeah.
That's it. Okay, let's give it up for Anush. Good job. Any comments or questions or thoughts? Raise your hand. Comments, questions, thoughts on the role play? Okay.
I like the commission objections. That was great.
Him handling it, Deb?
Yep.
Yeah, that was good. He did a good job with it. Let me tell you, for being 4 months in the business and taking 4 listings and going on 5 appointments, he's doing pretty freaking good. Okay. Which is a testament to you guys, which is like, look, just get out there, talk to people. Rule number
Mm.
one. Let's finish where we started. Get to know the people. Just get to know them. Or just talk to them. What's going on? How are you doing? And they object and they resist. And I just repeat and approve to keep finding out what's going on. And when I make this about sorting, figuring out what's going on, getting to know the people, and not about convincing, close 5 times. Come on, man. David, I just keep moving. I juke, I jive, I ask great questions. I ask them well. I listen carefully, rinse and repeat that process as much as you possibly can. And doing 3 to 5 deals a month is a lot closer than you know. A lot closer than you know. And people think you're like superstar. What are you doing? Just the
Yeah.
basics.
It adds up. I'm
Just the
gonna have like
basics.
3 closings next month, it's crazy.
Because you're doing the
Everything.
stuff that you're supposed
Yeah.
to do, Anush.
Yeah.
You know what though?
Mm.
It ain't, look, it's simple. It's not easy, is it?
No. No,
Right?
it's
Not
really
easy, but let me tell you, I don't know about you, but I used to work in a warehouse in upstate New York where it would snow, and I had to load trucks from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And
yeah.
it was dirty and it was nasty, and I busted my back. Let me tell you something. That was hard work. Well, I don't want them to think I'm salesy. Well, I don't want to be too forward. Well, I don't want to, I don't want stop that crap. Come on, man. This is about helping people. This is about getting to know people. This is about having better conversations. You can do that and earn a freaking good living. A freaking good living. But you got to go out there and have these conversations. Props to Anush for having that listing presentation. You guys want to do a listing or buyer presentation, let me know. We'll do another one in the future. But that was good stuff. Check out Real Sales Talk for we're going to be posting more. We've done some live too. So there's going to be buyer and listing presentations that we're going to post up there. I'd love to see a buyer presentation. And I appreciate you guys. Big news coming in 2025 for lots of things that we're going to be doing with the Real Sales Talk community. So I'm excited to announce those in the first quarter next year. So
26, you mean?
stay 26.
Okay.
Back to the future. Okay.